Good morning, everyone. Today is baking day, so welcome back. I am making, it's a combination of 3 recipes. With the chopping up the apples, but they're going to be little small ones, and no, we're not going to pre-cook them. They're going to be small enough to cook in the loaf pans by themselves. And we've got some walnuts here that's going to go in, and of course we've got the cinnamon. Brown sugar, that's going to be the filling. So I will walk you through everything. Welcome back to the channel. So I will see you in a moment with some chopped apples and getting ready to cream the butter and the sugar. Okay. Okay, we are back. Now I have gotten the butter and the sugar creamed up. It's very noisy, so I don't like to run that while I've got the video going because it'll make your ears bleed. So I'm going to be adding the 2 eggs, and here we go. We're going to be adding them one at a time. So that way it just incorporates. And then we're going to add the vanilla, just following the my Frankenstein recipe here and hoping that it turns out. Over here, this is my chopped apples. Now, the way I do it ahead of time in the glass bowl, not a metal bowl, but a glass bowl, I just find that using the glass bowl, it just keeps the apples from getting brown. Don't understand why. And I just put some wet paper towels over it to keep them from drying out. This is our cinnamon and brown sugar. And all I did was kind of whisk it together. See if you can see that. Just whisked it together so it's a little bit more granule because this is going to be a part of our streusel filling. And here's the walnuts. It called for a 1/4 cup. I want to be a little bit extra generous because people love walnuts. So I'm going to add the egg and the vanilla, and then we're going to start with the flour, and I will meet you on the other side of this because I do not want to make your ears bleed with this old mixer of mine. All right, so I've got it all mixed up, as you can see. This is with the egg, the sugar, the butter, and the vanilla. Now, it will look a little grainy, but that's just the way it goes. And we've got our flour. Now, remember what I said about the sifting in our last video for the ricotta cookies? That I like to get all the stuff out, break it all up so it's nice and fine. So we're going to be adding this. Now I've already sifted in the baking powder and the salt. So we're just going to mix it in. There's milk that we're going to be adding to the end. And that is just to make it a little bit more smoother. I'm going to see how it goes and see how much it says. Add the 1/2 cup. I don't know. So we're just going to add this in, and we're just going to start mixing it up and see where it takes us. Like I said, this is kind of like a Frankenstein type mixture of 3 different recipes because I threw out like a moron when I was diagnosed with the diabetes. I threw out my recipe book, and that had all my baking because I figured my life was over and that was the end, and it was all done. So now I'm on the internet Googling all sorts of stuff, and I found 3 different recipes that were extremely similar. And I'm sure they've Frankenstein their own recipes, but it doesn't really matter. So I just want to get this mixed up, and then I'm going to add the milk and see where we go. So I will not bore you with the mixing of this as it's starting to form itself, and that's why, see, it's becoming like dough. So that's where the milk comes in, and it'll start making it more smoother into a batter consistency. So I'm going to continue the odyssey, and I will see you in just a few minutes. Okay? All right, so as you can see, I have gotten almost all of them prepared. I left one here. Oops, pardon that. I left one here. The batter goes on the bottom. Okay, the batter goes on the bottom. Let me turn this a little bit better for you. The batter goes on the bottom. The batter goes on the bottom. And then you put the brown sugar cinnamon, sprinkle that down, and then do the apples. I'm sorry they got a little brown while I was working here because it's warm in the kitchen. And then you take a little bit of the walnut and you go in here because we love walnuts, but one of the recipes says you didn't have to put the walnut inside the apple. So that's just me. So, and then the next is we're going to basically fill over the top. And we just want to smooth it down. And yes, it is going to be messy. It is going to be messy. So I'm going to finish this up. We're going to get it into the oven. And then I will show you what it looks like when it comes out and when it does come out. And while it's cooling, we're going to make the glaze. But I want to show you one thing. I did do the parchment. There is a reason why I do just that. It's because I can come around the sides with the knife, but how do you get underneath? That's when the little breads are destroyed. So I just do that so I can wiggle it loose. I usually do that after they've been sitting in the pan for maybe 10 minutes. And I'm going to put them onto the cooling rack. I'm going to put them onto the cooling rack. And then I will lay everything out so I can do the drizzle. And we'll do the drizzle together. We'll make the glaze together and we will do the drizzle together. And finish up this last little guy here. And then I'm going to pop him in the oven at 350. The toothpick should come out clean. We will see. This is all an experiment. I just hope it turns out because otherwise my clients ain't getting no bread. So I can always throw cookies together. I always got an arsenal ready for chocolate chip cookies. So I will see you on the other side. Let's get this in the oven. I got to finish this guy first. See, they really, really look pretty. So it's all about the layering. I used coconut oil to just smear the inside instead of regular butter. It just holds up in the heat a lot better. Then I cut the parchment into long narrows, pushed it down, and the coconut oil, it sticks to the coconut oil so it doesn't get all crazy. And then I put the batter down. Then I put the brown sugar cinnamon mix. Then I put the apples, and as you can see, the apples are very, very fine. They are very, very fine. I want you to see that. That's what. All right, so we're back. They are out of the oven. I had a couple that didn't turn out super pretty. As you can see, they're kind of a little broken apart. But I'll just take these guys to the salon and slice up for the clients. It just didn't come out as beautiful as I wanted to. But the majority of them did turn out very, very nice. They look really, really beautiful. They did. Right now we're going to make the glaze, and I did not use my colander sifter. It was still wet from when I had used it in the flour, and I'm hoping, I am praying that we do pretty good with it. Now, I brought out the milk to get it to room temp. I don't like using ice cold milk. It just, I don't know, I don't want to say it curdles, but it just doesn't flow correctly. So it says to use 2 to 3 teaspoons. So we're going to just do a couple of teaspoons and we're going to take it from there, because this glaze, I want it to be a little thicker than I used for the other. So we're just going to give it a couple of swirls here and we'll see how it goes. But I have a feeling I'm going to be using pretty much all of this milk. It called for a half a cup of the powdered sugar and only a couple of these, and I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But we'll just keep mixing it until we get the consistency that we want. Do it a little bit at a time because we want to make sure. Yeah, see, it's like I said, it's not as smooth as I like it. It's all an experiment. It's all an experiment. Here we are. I think this is going to be what we want. I think this is going to be what we want. So let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Give it a shot, because we have to. We can always add a little bit more milk, but let's see how it goes. And here we go. I think it's looking terrific. Let it drain off. I had a little bit of a schmutzy mess over there, but this isn't, you know, a professional kitchen. This is just making it for people that we love and care about. Comes from the heart. And it doesn't matter if it isn't, you know, professional grade. Who wants professional grade? You want professional grade? Go to the bakery. Here we're just making it look like it's been tendered with love and care. So I think it turned out pretty darn good. I did have a little bit of a crumble that I got to taste, and it really, really is delicious. Lots and lots of cinnamon flavor to it. The apples turned out really super tender. These guys turned out pretty darn good, don't you? I think so. I think so. So I'll show you the tins that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, which are fantastic. And look at these. Are these not adorable? Are these not adorable? They got a little round top on them. Let me see if I can turn this so you can see in the round top. So like little treasure chests. And these will fit perfect inside. They'll fit perfect inside. So the bread and put them down inside, so that way they're completely protected. But for $1.25, what a great way to wrap a present. I'll be doing another cookie. It's very inexpensive to do. For those of you on a budget, it's very inexpensive to do something like this. It's 90% of the stuff I already have, you know, in the house. The only thing I needed to get was some fresh apples and some walnuts. I was all out of walnuts. But other than that, I have everything in the pantry. And these make, like I said, I got the box. You know, I got the box. And you can find all sorts of stuff. They were loaded with these guys when I went a couple of days ago. And I got, I think 5 in total. I think 5 of these in total. And they're all different. There's snowman and there's this. This just happened to be the closest thing I could grab for the camera. But those make such special, wonderful gifts with some ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Be kind to yourself. Know that you can do it. And yes, there might be a few imperfections, but trust me, no one's going to care, because they're going to break it open. They're going to grab their cup of coffee or their tea or their hot chocolate, and they're going to be a happy person. So we did our best. We tried, and we had some success, and we had a couple of So, Merry Christmas. I will see you next week. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for spending some quality time with me. If you like me, please give me a little thumbs up because it helps with the algorithm. And I will see you next week.